Guten Morning, Wealthy Nation. Happy day of the week to you wherever you are watching this. I'm Adrian, and this is our Interconnectedness series. And at this point, we're going to talk about some more abstract ideas. And not necessarily abstract because they're proven empirically. We've tested this and we know it. So there's an abstract theory there that is difficult for people to wrap their minds around. And I'm talking, of course, about quantum physics. So we're going to look at quantum physics, quantum mechanics. I'll call it a few different names. Courtesy of this book by Carlo Rovelli. He's a leading scientist in the world of quantum and gravity. So you might hear me say quantum gravity, although I haven't. We're not going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about quantum physics more generally. By the way, these are not sponsored posts. I'm not being paid to promote this work or anything. I genuinely believe this is important knowledge for us to string together in our quest to understand the world a bit better. So that's what we're doing here. I'm not paid to promote this. I genuinely think these are good reads. I recommend that you go check them out if you're curious for more information. So, back to quantum physics, quantum mechanics. It taught us three main things about the nature of reality that was very, very different from our previous understanding of the world. The first one, that nature is granular and finite in its information, and so we have sort of discrete variables associated with the properties of our quantum particles. The second, that it's indeterminate. Everything that we know about reality can only ever be probabilistic. We can't tell with certainty where something's going to appear. And the third, which will be what we focus on in this video, is that reality is relational. Everything is built on relations. In fact, relations are the building block of reality, not things. Relations are how things manifest. The interaction of systems is what manifests what we think of as our sort of atomic and material reality, which is so incredibly confusing. If you're confused, do not feel bad, because it sounds weird. It feels, from our world, you need to have things to have the relationship. Chicken and the egg situation, it should be that the things come first to relate to each other. It's actually not how it is. It turns out that the relations of these systems create the things. And I say systems, and by that I sort of mean like these quantum fields, which there are too many for me to go into because I'm not a physicist, so I would start to speak over my head at that point. Hopefully I've done justice to the theory this far. A good way to think about it, because it's confusing. How do you have a relationship without the things? I think of it like a net. And this also works with a chain link fence. I like a net. You have a net. The net is not made up of a bunch of little nodes strung together with different bits of string. It's the string itself, that common thread that's woven, that creates the nodes. We are those nodes in this cosmic thread of our reality. So that's how I think about it, because I think that's pretty cool. And again, if it's still confusing to you, or if you are inclined to not even believe me, I can't fault you. This very subject Albert Einstein himself went to the grave trying to disprove it. He did not like it, of quantum entanglement. He called it spooky action at a distance. That's a pretty popular one here. But what I've learned from Mr. Carlo is that he was debating Niels Bohr and trying to cast doubt, and which was good. That's all part of the scientific inquiry, is to doubt something and strengthen your own knowledge. So they went back and forth, it's funny, Einstein laid the foundation for quantum physics to take off, because he created his theory of relativity about space-time, and is that same idea of relativity that was just essentially turned out to be true of everything. So if you don't follow or you don't believe me, I encourage you to go look it up. Quantum physics is pretty cool. Pretty cool. But also, don't feel bad. Albert Einstein didn't get it either. So since then, we've proven that this is the case, that this is how the world works over the last 100 years. People like Heisenberg and Bohr and of course Paul Dirac. I feel like I'm leaving people out, but that's all right. We've proven it. We use it now. It's so well understood that it's accepted to be true, even though nobody really understands it still. So it's kind of funny. But the takeaway here, if we are to have just one, is that everything in reality is relational. Everything is built up of relations. Things exist as a consequence of interactions, not the reverse. Things don't interact. Interactions create things. There's something to chew on today. See you next time, Wealthy Nation.